And the thing that I messed up last time when I was trying to record this was I was trying to make the character with the skin modifier, and that didn't go well. So I'm going to start the old way and show you how to actually model it instead of trying to cheat your way there. This thing is amazing. It is so colorful and looks so nice. The only thing I don't quite like about this here is this indent in his sleeve. Personally, I think I'm going to ignore that and just kind of continue this here and not that, if that is okay with you. Delete frame, get that out of the way. So we have a cube here. What I did to get that up is you can either hit add at the top left, mesh cube, or what you should be doing is getting used to keyboard shortcuts. You have to memorize quite a bit of them for Blender. Shift and A will bring up the add menu, so A for add. And then mesh cube. Oh, I deleted the last one, whoops. Cube. And I'm going to bring this up a bit. Actually, I'm going to hit Control Z. Whenever you make an object, there is an orange dot in it. That is the origin point. If you move it in object mode, the origin point will move, but if you hit Tab to go into edit mode, or just switch to edit mode down here, you can move it and that origin point will stay the same. I want to keep the origin at the center of his face. So then I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. Take this up to the x-axis, like that. I'm going to hit Control R to cut this in half. I'm going to press Z, letter Z, to go into wireframe. Make sure I am on vertex select with either. Nah, I won't confuse you by telling you all these different things. Vertex select is this one down here with a dot. I'm going to hit A to deselect all. It's when it's not orange. And then I'm going to hit B for a box selector. Select these ones over here. Because I'm in wireframe mode, it selected it all the way across. And I'm going to hit X, delete vertices. So now we have half of the cube on his right side. With that, I'm going to tab out of edit mode. Come up here in this panel. If you hit Shift Space earlier to get the view as big as you want, hit it again so you can get this over here. There is a wrench over here in the, let's see, what is this called? This is called the, where is it? The Properties menu. That's what it's called. So in this Properties menu, there is a wrench. Click on that. This is your Modifiers tab. These, you won't use them very often. The ones that you may be using are Subdivision, Surface, definitely. You'll use that for almost everything. You have your mirror that you will use for almost everything. Mask comes in when you are making characters. And skin modifier if you want to attempt it. Yeah, anyway, what we're going to do is add in a mirror modifier. And that has made the other half of the cube. Now, the thing about that is if I move one side in edit mode, it will move the other side as well. But you see that they separated there in the middle, so what I'm going to do is over here, where the mirror came up, I'm going to hit clipping. That means if I try and drag it, it stay clipped in the middle, and any vertice that touches the middle, and then you let go of it, will remain stuck in the middle, so beware of that. So now with everything selected, I'm going to move this square up, and try and get this middle vertice at about his belt line. That's what I'll do. I'm going to hit C to bring up a brush selector. Grab these two and just bring them down to just a little bit higher. Hit A to deselect. Select these over here and bring it over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to create the shape of the character, this kind of just like a silhouette. That's what I'm trying to think of, a silhouette. And then afterwards we will go to our right view, and because the shape won't line up correctly, we'll work on that. I'll go ahead and get the square to fit right now, actually. pull these in along the y-axis now that I'm in the right ortho view. Ortho for orthographic. And also, as a by the way, if you are not in orthographic view and you are in perspective, those background images won't show up, so you have to be in orthographic view by pressing Numpad 5. And you know, another mistake I made last time is I didn't save. And I didn't post the video because I ended up having a crash and lost all my work. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save as, go to my Blender file. You can add bookmark folders, or you can go to your desktop and find it and whatnot. I'll go ahead and put this in my tutorial folder. Make a new folder, my tutorials, why not? Not the tutorials for me, but the ones that I created. And this is going to be Ezio AC for Assassin's Creed, the game I need to play more of. Alright. So now that we have all that out of the way, we can really get started on the actual modeling. We are ready to begin. So we take this one, move it a little bit more like this. So I'm going to take these top vertices and start to extrude them upwards. Take this one to about here, scale it in, take it up one more to about where I wanted the arm to actually happen at. I'll give it a little bit of leeway. I mean, it was poofy there. A little more leeway. Okie dokie, and then I'm going to extrude it one more time up to his shoulders, and maybe extrude it out a bit, and extrude one more time up to about where the base of his neck would be, and scale away and really far, like that. If I leave my wireframe mode, you can see this shape we have created. Let's go ahead and go into our Numpad 3 view and take a look at what happened. Actually, not that bad. Just kind of line it up a little bit more. I think this is on his clothes and not his skin. It didn't grab all of them. Put right there. Take this one, pull it out a bit. Pull that one back there. That one seems to be fine. Pull this one back. So now you can see his collar kind of gets in the way here, but if we kind of follow this general line here, we can figure out about where his neck is. About something like that, except a neck isn't shaped like that, something like that. With a chibi character, it's really hard to to get proportions on some things. And so then, if you want to know how to draw like that, that's by holding down D. Except it doesn't want me to do that right now, and I move my 3D cursor, Shift C to put that back, and go back to grabbing these. G along the Y, since the widget doesn't want to like me right now. Grab this one, pull it back, and what happened up here? Oh, I scaled it in so much that it made it really tiny up here. So I grabbed the vertices that I need, zoom them back out, pulling them back over here, do that right here, go about right here, and then take the Control R to do, say, 2 edge loops here, and I will scale those in. Let's try an Alt S. There we go. You can scale in 2 different ways. You can scale from the middle point with S, or you can scale along the normals, which means the direction that the faces are pointing. And so that is helpful sometimes. Hope you got that. Go ahead and Control S to save. Get used to saving often, because you never know when Blender's going to crash. I'm going to delete those drawings there now. Delete frame. And we have a decent setup for this character here. Next up, we could either do the arms or the legs. I'll go ahead and start with the legs because they're not... Let's see, they're probably equally as hard. I'm going to take these bottom faces, extrude it down to make some hips, so right around in the crotch area, I guess you could say. Grab this one and move it back up to right there. Let's see. There was a special thing to notice here, but we'll get into it later. I don't think it really comes into play here. Never mind me, I'm babbling. No, I do remember. So what we're going to do is bevel this. Now bevel sort of means... I'm going to add a edge loop right here is what I'm going to do. I will stop trying to explain things. And I'm going to deselect it all, go into my wireframe, bring up my C brush, and grab these two right here, press G and G again. It will slide the edge like this, and we'll bring it into about right there. Take this one on the top, and GG, kind of even it out there. Some nice even geometry. What I was trying to explain is you never want a direct V in between the legs. That always causes problems when you're animating them, at least. And so I added this extra loop here so that we don't have to do that. Actually move it just slightly more. So now with those selected, and I select these over here, we can start the legs. I'm going to zoom out a bit, E to extrude, just bring it out and hit SZ0. That made it so that these are not tall in any way along the Z-axis, flattening them out. So I'm bringing them down to about the ankle area. He seems to have some pretty small feet. That is really adorable. I love chibi stuff. And I'm going to scale it down about like this. He has a boot on, so it'll be a little less than the boot. Go to my right view, pull it back a little bit. And then I'm going to add a loop here in the middle with Control R. Let's see, do we want to get complicated or should we leave it at that? Let's see, there is a bug in my face. I turned the fan on, but now the bug's on my screen. So, what we can do, if you want to make this a little bit better, you can grab, so if you go to your 3 view, your third numpad 3, on the back side, you grab these two vertices, and I believe it is Control B to bevel. It'll pull it out about like this. Then I'm going to grab this edge over here, and this one over here. Just for future reference, it is not often that you want triangles in your mesh. Mesh being the thing that you're creating, a triangle is usually bad news. But because we are making a low poly character, this triangle will actually benefit us, so that when this portion of the leg is bent up this way, these vertices right here can bend up to here, maybe even a little bit further, but it'll create a nice knee when we create the character, or when we animate the character, I should say. Delete those. So I hope that wasn't too hard. Kind of wish this bug would get off my screen. I'm going to save again. I'm going to go down and select the face on the bottom of the leg to make the foot. E to extrude, bring it down to the X-axis line. Look at it from the right. I'm going to go back to my vertex select by Control Tab, or this button down here. I'm going to hit Z to go into wireframe. C brush to grab the back, and just pull the foot out a little bit like that. Deselect, grab the ones in the front, and pull it out about like that. Except that didn't grab all of them. Try that again. My Blender has this problem where I'll click on something, it'll know that I click on it, but it thinks I will double click and will deselect it, so that's why that's happening. So now he's got little feet. They probably look a little bit weird. Let's see, how do we want to fix that up? Would another loop in here be too much? I think that would be too much for right now. I guess what we can do is put a loop here on the foot. Grab this face. Nope. Grab this face right here. Go to the third view and pull it out a bit more. About like that. What we will want, I think, can we put a loop up here? No, we can't. That might be a problem. Let's see, I'm going to... How do I want to solve this? Just think about it for a moment. I'm going to press K and click on this edge here. Bring it up to about the middle here. And hit enter. That divided those up. Press K again. Click here. And then up here. Like that. Let's see if I can do Control R here now. So I just divided this top section in half. Go to my vertex select. Click on these two. And I'm going to hit F to fill those in here. Just check. Nope, it didn't know that that was a face. So don't do that. I'm going to take out this face by hitting X and then deleting the faces. So now there's a hole in it. Grab my vertex select. Grab this vertex, move this one, and this one, all four. And press F to make that face. Do the same over here. And I'll go ahead and save again. So now we are getting somewhere on being able to have a heel here. Take my K, grab this one, go about here, and here. Enter, go on the bottom, K, go back here, enter. This is the knife tool if you're wondering. Let's see, how does a edge loop look here? It doesn't. K, there, and up here. And there. That meets the center point. So that will help us in making this character look less square. You know what I'm thinking here, what's bothering me, is on this character that I was showing you from the Attack on Titan game. I'll just zoom in here on its feet. It has boots on also. When you're walking around, it seems like it has a point in the middle. And so I'm wanting to add a loop up the leg to be able to allow that point to happen. But if we do that, we will have a lot of geometry on the top of the leg here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is hold down Alt and select this row here, the edge of the box, I guess you could say. And I'm going to just scale it in along the X-axis. Nope, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit G and G, bring it in like this. So now it is more round-like. Do that on the back too. Hold Alt, select these, brush the bug off of your screen. And I'll press G and G, pull it back, put that like that. And now it looks more round. And you can see the individual faces here. Don't worry about that right now. If you want to worry about that right now, in object mode, here in your tool panel, by pressing T, there is something that says shading. You hit smooth. And that will give you smooth shading. I'm going to keep it on flat for right now, though. Alrighty. Let's do that same thing to the inside of the legs here. G and G. And then on the back side, stop hitting the spacebar. G and G like that. So there we go. And then I'm going to take this face right here, or this set of faces, pull it over this way a little bit, rotate along the Z-axis by pressing R and Z, kinda move his foot out in a different direction rather than straight forward. That is usually something you want to do. Alright, I think the legs are done. This bug is really bugging me. Let's see what I did there. It's probably after my sugary drink. Take a drink of it while I'm talking about it. So now, I'm going to go over here and select these two faces on the side of the arm. They're not the side of the arm, but it's going to be the arm. And remember I said those two, not just one. Can't see the other one from the front view. I'm going to extrude it out to about the wrist area. Rotate it a bit. And before I rotate it, I'm going to hit scale X0 to do that same thing we did with the feet. Then rotate it. Something like that. And then add a loop here in the middle of that arm to create an elbow. And we'll do the same thing. That is a huge arm, but we'll still do the same thing as the leg. Grab these 2 points in the back. Control B to bevel it. About like that. And then select those two there. And scale them down. Take out my vertex select, grab this loop by holding down Alt and selecting, and then grab this beveled elbow. We should have really scaled it before doing this already. And then I'm going to scale that down as well. Let's take a look at the front view. So let's see, scale it up a bit, about here. And in the right view, he did the correct thing and not put the arm there, which is fine. I might like pull it back slightly. And then I'm going to take the face select, grab these two here, go to the front view, and scale along the Z-axis maybe. And rotate it to where we want it. And this, let's see, scale along the Y-axis. He's got some big arms. Throwing that out there. I mean, let's see. Goes up about like this. And the elbow. And then it's just like, here is a hand. Now, it's up to you if you like that or not. But personally, I like arms that kind of get smaller as they go. About like that. And then hand. If you see what I mean there. This nice elbow joint and then wrist joint. So I might try to do that. And you know, you're the one who's making the character. You don't have to always stay with the modeling sheet there. So I'm actually just going to scale it to about here. And then, yeah, decisions. I'm going to scale it down like that. Let's see. And then probably still make the hand fairly large. The design just looks so great, it makes me want to just go like this. And then, you know, when you think about it, he does have a poopy sleeve, and that's probably what's throwing off what makes this look funny here. So, in other words, I'm going to leave it up to you. It is up to you how you want to make it look. I might just go ahead and do the poofy sleeve, because technically we won't really be able to make that later on. Scale along the Z-axis, except maybe not, let's just scale it normally. Like that. And then scale along the Y, a little bit more. Nope. Let's see, so it was only poofy in the downward direction, which means on top. It really should still be fairly skinny. About here. And let's go ahead and add an edge loop through the middle of the hand here like this. We'll grab this vertice, and on the back two, these two, maybe even this third one on the back, and scale it along the y-axis, and we'll make it round. And even do an edge slide like before, so I grab these two, and then this one, and this one. No, do one at a time. That doesn't work when you do it like that. Edge slide this way, and then GG to edge slide this way. Kind of makes the arm more round. And there is, what we can also do actually, is grab this point here and bring it up, and then take this point here, go back to our front view, and then bring that down to make the kind of poopy look. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Let's save again. And so that's that.